Hello, welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and today we're going to be doing a reading on what is the message that you need to hear today from your guides. What is the message that you need to hear today from your guides? And what I'm going to do today is I've got 3 different decks to pull from. We'll also pull a few oracle cards, but in order for you to choose which reading is going to be your reading, you can use the choose which deck resonates with you and what in alignment with crystal. So for the first, for pile 1, your deck will be with the raw green Aventurine and with the Muse deck. And I'm showing the Fool card for each of the decks so that you can get a sense of that deck. Okay, so that is for the Muse deck for pile 1. For pile 2, you've got the Lapis Lazuli, and that is going to be with the Light Seers deck. And this is the Fool card for the Light Seers deck. Okay, and then for pile number 3, you have got the Citrine, and you've got the Star Tarot deck, and this is the Fool for the Star Tarot deck. All right, so again, we're going to be delving into what do your guides or spirits need you to hear today. Okay, this will be a timeless reading, so when you find it, it'll be appropriate for you. You can jump down to the timestamps and pick your reading. And I will do pile pickings, but I'll just do them separately quickly for each one. I'll put a timestamp for that. So you'll see card picking for pile 1 and then the actual reading. And so if you want to go directly to the reading, you can just do that for pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Thanks for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you haven't yet joined the community, please click down there and hit that subscribe button. Hit a like, drop me a comment, let me know what resonates with you, and I will see you in your reading. Thanks so much. Hello, pile number 1. This is going to be your pile picking. If you chose the Muse deck with this Fool card. So we'll pop this in here. We're going to pull 5 tarot, and then we're going to pull about 4 oracles. So Spirit, what we're asking here is, what does all of the beautiful souls that chose pile number 1, what do they need to hear today? All those beautiful souls that chose pile number 1, Spirit, what do they need to hear? What guidance do you have? What message? What do they need to be mindful of for pile number 1? Oops. And we're going to pull 3 more cards, Spirit, for what does pile number 1 need to hear? What message do they need to hear? I believe it's that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, so those are going to be your tarot cards. And then we're going to pull 2 of these Crow deck oracle cards. So for pile number 1, what might they need to hear? There's 1 for pile number 1, and 2. Okay? And we'll pull 1 from the Woodland Wardens. Quick guidance, so that's going to be 1. And then we've got the Starlight, just a quick message. All right. Okay, that is going to be for your reading on what is Spirit's guidance for what you need to hear right now. That is your pile for pile number 1, and we are going to go into your reading. Hello, pile number 1. So we're going to get into your reading. If you chose the green Aventurine, this is going to be your pile. And what we're talking about today is, what do your guides need you to know right now? What do you need to know right now? What piece of information is important? Okay, so let's jump in. So you got, and we pulled several oracle cards and several tarot cards. So we'll take a look here. So you've got singularity. You are your own sun, moon, and stars. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'm um, immediately hearing from this card is there is a need for you to be able to lean on your own strength, trust in your own knowledge, and continue to move forward. It may be that there's something happening. It's not that there always has to be something negative, but what I'm hearing is that there's a way in which you need to show up for yourself, um, maybe a bit differently than you have been recently, and that you need to kind of allow yourself to really step fully into your own power. Okay, that is what I'm hearing, souls, for pile one. But let's see what else we have for the cards, and maybe that will help us clarify what we're hearing here. You are your own sun, moon, and stars. Beautiful. All right, so you've got interesting. Okay. The marten and the foxglove, mischief. Now, this is really interesting because foxgloves are kind of known for they're kind of seen as like the home, if you will, of the fairies. And so in that way, they have a sort of magical, maybe a little bit of mischief quality to them as well. And this card literally says mischief on it. So that's why I'm seeing that. Now, the other thing is that the marten itself is like, it's a type of weasel, right? So it's a type of weasel, and they're known for very quick movement and their curiosity, okay? They're known in some folklore about playing tricks on horses. And so the fact that this card is sort of talking about this, the foxglove flower and the marten, which has these kind of qualities of a bit of a trickster, it's saying that you need to pay attention for opportunities to be playful, opportunities to be lighthearted in mischief, and that all of that can be very good because mischief is a bit more playful than sort of maybe the heavier trickster energy. So there's a sense of sort of being a bit playful. But let's see what else we get in regards to your reading here. Okay, so we've got these two oracle cards from the Crow deck. And you've got, oh, okay, so you've got trickery and you've got betrayal. Okay, so that is giving us a bit of a turn on this mischief piece. I feel like the mischief card is in relation to how you may need to behave in your situation to get yourself to a place of more playfulness. There may be a need for you to be a bit discreet because of what I'm seeing here. So you've got trickery and betrayal. Now, betrayal is the bit heavier side of this idea of mischief, okay? So when we're talking about betrayal, well, first let's talk about trickery. So with trickery, we've got, crows are kind of known for, I don't know if you all can see that well, but crows are known for sort of like taking the stash of the other crow and hiding that stash away to be able to come back at a different time. So there's this sense of trickery that's a little bit heavier than I would see over here with the weasel marten type energy, this little marten creature. But it's still a little bit less lighthearted, a little more lighthearted than the betrayal, because betrayal now is taking trickery to a more of a backstabbing type energy. So with these three cards coming up, pile one, it's really making me think that in whatever situation you're dealing with in your life right now, it is very important for you to, and I don't like to kind of, I don't like you to have to carry this energy, but there is a sense that you're going to need to kind of keep one eye open, if you will, because someone in your life may, and sometimes trickery can be like they're not really aware that they're being deceptive, but sometimes they're very much aware. Okay. So I'm really getting, because you literally got 3 cards here that are speaking about this energy of deceit, deception, betrayal, backstabbing type energy. It's really making me feel like that it's important for you to keep your eye open in the relations that you're dealing with right now. And then we've started here with, you are your own sun, moon, and stars. So Spirit is telling me that there's a way in which you need to watch who and how you're giving away your power. Remember that you have your own power to make decisions, to be able to move yourself in the direction that you need to move in your life, Pile 1. Okay. So this is a message from Spirit, and Spirit is saying, what do you need to hear? And for you all who chose Pile 1, I feel like what you need to hear, at least right now, and we'll go into the rest of the tarot, is that you need to have a little bit of a heightened awareness around the people that you are revealing things to, having a bit more of a protective nature around yourself, your ideas, your the things that you hold close, right? Your heart, your emotions, depending on what your situation is. And then this is a general reading, so it could be applying to multiple things. This energy gets played out, unfortunately, in many areas of our lives. It can happen in our romantic relationships. It can happen in platonic relationships. It can happen in work relationships. It can happen with creative partnerships. Okay, and whenever we're in connection with other human beings, unfortunately, there is a possibility of trickery and even as far as betrayal, right? So it's really important that you be mindful of Spirit's message here of, you are your own sun, moon, and stars, right? No one else can bring you your happiness. No one else can make you whole. No one else can do that but you, okay, Pile 1? So that's something to keep in mind. Now let's take a look. We've got quite a few tarot cards here. So you've got the 6 of Materials. Okay, that's a lovely card. Okay, the 6 of Materials. I'm going to lay out all the cards before you speak to it, because I feel like there's a story that is already developing here, and I want to see what that whole picture is before I speak on this card. But this is a very positive card, the 6 of Materials, a kind of a good balanced flow of giving and receiving is what this card is sort of speaking to. Okay, and then you've got the 6 of Emotions. Okay, this is which in this deck is you've got sort of the 6 of Pentacles here with the 6 of Materials, and then the 6 of Cups, and then the Fool. Interesting, because this was on the top, but I literally slid it in the middle of the deck and mixed it, and it still came back up. So it was meant for you to be here. Okay, about taking risks, moving yourself forward, stepping into new possibility, right? Awakening. Now this card in this deck represents the Judgment card in the traditional tarot. Okay, it really talks about standing in your truth, seeing yourself, accepting yourself, all of who you are, flaws and all, which allows you to be more accepting of others as well. Okay, and then you've got the 8 of Emotions. Okay, so in the light, okay, so this is what I am seeing here. Okay, so for you beautiful souls who chose pile number 1, it feels like you have had a connection in your life, or you have a connection in your life right now, where there was at one point a very charitable, easy balance and flow of giving and receiving. Okay, things flowed very easily, very magically, beautifully, abundantly, a lot of joy there. The main thing about this card is it's balance, right? That things are balanced, that everybody is giving from the place from which they can give and is receiving equally in that as well. Then the 6 of Emotions here is really talking about nostalgia. It talks about past relationships, past places. I also talks about ideas that we have held in childhood. So what I'm seeing here is that it feels like there are some beliefs that may have been fermented for you as a child, that you have carried into your relations with other people and other connections, that may have blinded you a bit to what may have been going on underneath the surface in your connections. Okay. The next piece of the story here is that Spirit is saying you need to take a risk. So it feels like we've kind of got two in. Okay, so even both of these cards actually even have a similar coloring. The Fool card is about taking risks, going out into the unknown, going into the new world, right? Like moving yourself forward, new possibilities, jumping with like free abandon into steps. The Eight of Emotions talks about letting go, but isn't it interesting here that they both have this sort of similar landscape within this deck here, okay? This idea of kind of this sort of desert movement. There's a real sense of like letting go so that something better can emerge from this, right? So I feel like Spirit is telling me, this reading feels very, very clear to me that there is a sense of there. Here we've got this back and forth of the emotion, the Six of Emotions, which is this childhood nostalgia, this formulation, reflecting back on the formulation of ideas and ways in which you have been grounded as an individual. And then the Awakening card is really all about accepting those flaws, accepting yourself fully, shifting, transforming, forgiving yourself completely so that you can fully accept yourself and move forward. And then literally directly following that, Spirit is saying, and you need to let go. And what you're needing to let go of, you beautiful souls, is that you need to let go of what is no longer serving you. Sometimes when we've been in a place where we've been in a really balanced, joyful, maybe even very loving connection with someone else, but things shift and things become out of balance. And there's no longer an even flow of giving and receiving. And as a matter of fact, it could be so out of balance that it's actually harming you in some way. We can sometimes hold on to the nostalgia of this good time, right? And not really be able to look clearly at what is happening in the now. And then we miss these signs of trickery and betrayal that's happening underneath the surface. So Spirit is here today to tell you, you beautiful souls, you need to start looking. You need to look a little deeper. And then you need to allow yourself to take a risk to step into a new direction that your spirit, your heart is pulling you, okay? The other thing that you're going to need to do is forgive yourself so that you can have compassion for others, but move forward. Move forward. Let go of what is no longer serving you, okay? So that something more beautiful can emerge. I'm going to ask quickly because I just want to make sure that we have a clear vision here. I just want to get any clarifying or additional information, Spirit, for this beautiful pile, because we see here very clearly that they do need to let go, move away from something. If you can give us any more understanding of what it is that they're needing to look at and move away from. And I'm going to pull a couple of cards here. Let's pull these two and see if we need to pull more. So you've got the Five of Voices and the Knight of Inspiration. So the Five of Voices is like the five of, let's see what we have here. And the Queen of Inspirations is at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the Five of Voices is going to be like, it's a conflict, right? Voices in this deck represents the swords, all right? And fives always represent a conflict or a change of some kind, all right? But the Five of Swords really talks about feelings of defeat, learning lessons from loss, fighting, okay? This sort of bullying type behavior, hurting. So I feel like you all have, it's almost like there's some, whatever connection that you're in which you are feeling like either you're having internal fights or actual external experiences of a lot of disagreements. I'm praying that there's no physical fights, but even mental fights or just mental frustration, or even just conflicting, where the flow is, there's not an easy flow, and it's gotten to the point where it's really affecting you and it's no longer serving you. Okay. This is what they're telling me. So it does feel like this thing that you're going to need to move away from, that you're going to need to leave. It really feels like it's an individual. It feels like it's a connection with someone else. But then again, it could be an establishment. So it could be like a job in which you're feeling that conflict moving up forward, because this is a general reading. So it could actually apply to different places. It could be a person. It could be a job. It could be a thought process as well that maybe was honed within your childhood, that you're going to need to switch that so that you can move into this Knight of Inspirations energy. So this is going to be your Knight of Wands energy, a very passionate energy, a very fast-moving energy. It's about creativity. There's this sort of explosion of newness in regards to creativity, okay? And that's what I'm really seeing this card in this deck right here. So I really feel like you all are going to need to be able to let go of something. Let go of basically what you want to do, you all. What I'm hearing from Spirit is like follow your what brings you joy. If it's not bringing you joy, if you're feeling conflicted about it, if you're feeling like you're in a fighting stance in whatever the situation is or whoever the individual is, it's time for you to pull away from that and put your energy in toward loving on yourself so that you have the capacity to step into this beautiful energy of creativity. This is the emergence of it, the power of moving forward. And then we've got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which lets me know that Spirit is saying, this is where we need to get you. This is where we need to get you moving forward into this powerful energy. Yeah. Into this powerful energy of the Queen of Wands, where she is balanced, she is abundant, she is creative, she is full of her own passion, right? And so that's what I'm seeing here, beautiful pile number one. And I hope that this message resonated with you. I wish you all the luck in the world. I pray that any trickery may be exposed to you so that you can walk and live in your truth and make the decisions that you need to do that best serve you so that you can really step fully into your authenticity and creativity. Much love to you. May you have an abundant, joyful day. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. This is your pile picking for those that chose the Lapis Lazuli and pile number 2 and the Light Seers deck. I'm going to take the full card and slide that in here and then do some shuffling for this. And we're going to pull 5 tarot cards, and then we're going to pull several, didn't do right too well. And then we're going to pull several oracle cards. That did not work out very well. Okay, let me reshuffle that. I hope that you all are having a joyful, abundant day. Okay, I got some cards that are falling here. Okay. So Spirit, we want to know for pile number 2. Oh, goodness. What is the message that Spirit wants them to hear today? What is the message that Spirit wants them to hear? Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we'll pull 2 more. The Spirit wants them to hear. These cards are kind of jumpy today. All right, so that's going to be your tarot, and we'll put these here in case we need to pull any clarifiers. We're going to pull 2 cards from the Crow Oracle deck, which also has the extended cards, so it's a full Crow deck. So, okay, Spirit, what messages does our beautiful pile number 2 need to hear today? Guide them, give them a heads up, support them. What do they need to know? We got one, and then let's see if we can get one more message, and I feel like it's this one here. Okay, it's two, and we're gonna pull from the Woodland Oracle, just one card from the Woodland Oracle. Some advice, any questions to think about. Okay, we pile two, and then a quick advice card from the Starlight Oracle. For pile number two, Spirit, what do they need to know? What do they need to know? I think it's that one there. All right, so those are going to be our cards, and we're going to go right into the reading. So let's see. There we go. This was the pile picking. Okay, so I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pile number two. Welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and if you chose the Lapis Lazuli, this is going to be your reading. And what we're digging in today is we're talking about what is it that Spirit wants you to know right now? What are you meant to know right now? Okay, and we're going to jump into the reading here. We've already pulled the cards, and let's see what you have. So you have full moon. Protect your energy and hold your stars close. So immediately what I'm hearing is that all of you souls that chose pile number two, you may have been going through a period of healing, or if you have not yet gone into a period of healing, you may be about to go into a period of healing. So there may be an opportunity for you to really take some time to pull your energy in, not release as much to other people, so that you can get to the next level of whatever it is that you need to do. So hopefully this can reveal for us kind of a more clarity around what the journey is holding. Okay, put that note there so that stays. Okay, so we've got a few oracle cards, and you've got the mouse and the buttercup. Innocence. So it's interesting, buttercup is that little flower that we, some of us used to use when we were youth, and you'd put it underneath your chin and see if it showed yellow or something, you would be, what I think they said you were made of butter or something like that. But it really talks about sort of childhood innocence, right? And, the mouse is kind of seen as innocent, but the thing about a mouse is, if anybody's had to deal with a mouse, they are very clever and can even be a little bit conniving, but they're very intelligent, and they're able to do what they need to do to take care of themselves. This card really speaks to you. It's a newness too. There's a new beginning here with this card. This is, in this particular oracle deck, the number here for this card is 0. So it is reminiscent to the Fool card in the regular tarot deck, in that it is a new beginning. It's really talking about a new project, a new journey that you may be going on. And the guidance here is really to understand that the qualities of sort of innocence, learning, sort of being the apprentice, maybe a bit of naivete, is not a bad emotion. Sometimes it gets a bad connotation on it, right? But it's not a bad place to be. It actually is what allows us to discover new things about ourselves. It allows us to, in some cases, really, truly, authentically be who we are, right? Without having to put a cover over who we are. So, Spirit is really kind of saying, like, allow yourself to have a sense of innocence. But what I'm also hearing is that there's a protection energy that I'm hearing, because we've got protect your energy and hold on and hold your stars close. So that what I'm understanding that to mean is that allow yourself to hold on to your innocence, but you may, in this period of time, or for some period of time, is what I'm hearing from them. So you all might be going, let's see what these other cards are, because you may be going through some kind of transformation of some kind, but for a period of time, you need to
Protect your stars. Protect those things that are dear to you. And largely when I hear that, I'm often hearing that being your emotional space, right? Your heart, your dignity, your integrity, those things that you hold close to, your self-respect, right? All of those things that you hold dear and close to you. That's what Spirit is saying you need to protect yourself from so that you can be in your innocence, okay? You have to be able to be safe, to be able to be innocent, just like a child needs to be able to be protected so that they can be fully in their child innocent self. Okay, that's some interesting messages there. Let's see what we've got for the oracle cards. Interesting. Okay, mimicry, which is about like mimicking, like a mimicry. It's actually, I might not be pronouncing that way. It might be mimicry or mimicry, but it is really talking about, so crows have the ability to have sort of like they can mimic almost like a human-like sound. And so what's happening here is that the crow is sort of mimicking the sound and kind of tricking the dog to think that it's like their owner, or like sounding like their owner. Okay, so there's a sense here of like being mindful that someone may be not fully being themselves, not fully kind of showing up as something other than they truly are, okay, in your world. So be mindful of that. And or, because I'm hearing this, there's this sense of this new journey that you're going on. You may need to, I don't want to say like, it's not being deceitful. It is wearing a disguise. You might have to, in some spaces that you walk in, my beautiful souls in pile 2, right now, you may need to show parts of yourself and not show other parts of yourself. Okay, I'll put it like that. But there also you need to be mindful of if there's someone in your space who's not really showing up as authentically themselves. But let's see what else we have here, and hopefully that'll help us see the full story. Fear. Okay, now this is interesting. This card actually talks about, forgetting what the exact phrasing is, but it's something about the brave, like the spoils go to the brave, or let's see if I can see here what it was. But this is talking about how this particular crow is brave enough to go and land on the scarecrow. All the other crows are back here in the back. And so it's really talking about fortune favors the brave, right? So Spirit, I feel like with this card is really saying that although you may have some fear, and because I feel like you've got this new journey that's coming up, it may be a fear of change. It may be a fear of moving away from something that you need to move away from. But Spirit is encouraging you to step into your courage and to be that one crow that goes ahead and lands on that scarecrow rather than running away from the scarecrow. Because once he lands on the scarecrow, he realizes that it's just a straw hat. It doesn't have any power to it. And oftentimes what we fear most, we think it's so much bigger than it actually is, when in reality, it's just a dressed up piece of straw. Okay. So some of the people that you might be feeling fear around, or ideas or an action that you need to take in your life of some kind that's causing you fear, Spirit is saying, y'all, it's just a piece of straw dressed up with a hat and a old shirt. Okay. But if you fully land on it, if you face it, if you look at it straight in its eye, you will know that it's just a piece of straw and it can't even fight back. And then you can knock that little scarecrow over and do exactly what you need to do. Okay. So face your fears, you all. And now let's see what the whole story here is with your tarot. So you've got, I'll put this over here so we can see the full picture. Okay, so interesting. The pile number 1 also got this card as well, the 6 of Cups. So let's see what we got here. So the 6 of Cups is talking about nostalgia, okay? Thinking about childhood memories, or if not childhood memories, depending on where you are in your life, it could be just past memories, past times that you're reminiscing of, past loves, past friendships. You may have some old connections coming back into your space or into your lives. It also can speak very much about thought processes that were embedded or fermented for you within childhood. Okay, nostalgia. Okay, interesting. Okay, so you've got the Hanged Man. Let's go ahead and see what we've got. The Ten of Swords. Okay, the Magician. Lovely. And the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. I'm seeing what this is making sense. Okay, so you've got this Six of Cups, which is this sort of nostalgia energy, and then it goes into the Hanged Man energy. Now, a lot of people see that as stagnant energy, stagnant energy. I see it more as like a pause, right? That hanged energy is a pause. It's almost like a divine projected, a divine predicted, a divine planned pause, right? It's meant to occur. Okay. And you notice here that she is suspended and unable to sort of move forward in a certain way. And that's why sometimes it can feel like stagnation. But in the suspension, it is also a time of reflection. And so therefore it has some of the hermit energy, because it's like she's landing in the light of the divine. And because she's in this place of sort of a pause, right? A retreat of some kind. She's able to receive downloads from her guides, from her higher power, from spirit, from the light of the universe, from her inner goddess, however you define your higher being, right? Okay. And so from God, directly from Jesus, whatever it may be. Okay. And so she's receiving a download here within the Hanged Man. So it feels like Spirit is really saying there's some things, that some old ideas, maybe some old people, some old places, in that you need to get a pause from. There needs to be a retreat so that you can get clearer direction, because sometimes our feelings around the nostalgia can clog our vision, keep us from moving forward in a new direction. And this card is certainly talking about a new beginning. But I think Spirit is saying to you that in order for you to take that new beginning, you're going to have to let go. Now, unfortunately, the Ten of Swords can often speak of painful endings, a loss of some kind. Okay. So there's something that is in your past, or may still be lingering in your present, but has been in your past for some time, in which you're going to need to let go of. And remember, this is a general reading. So this is going to have to apply how it resonates with you. It could apply to multiple kinds of situations here, because we're really talking about what are you meant to hear, right? So you need to, as you're listening to this reading, you need to sit honestly with yourself, connect with your spirit guides and your own intuition to understand what is it that Spirit is really wanting you to hear, because you know in your heart when you tap in what this is actually speaking to. Okay. So, but this card here is talking about a possible painful loss. That's what the Ten of Swords can actually call for. But the other thing that's really beautiful about the tens is that the 10 is a 10. So it's a completion of a cycle. And there's an opportunity in the Ten of Swords to be able to dig into your hope and resilience and step forward into a new day. And I feel like Spirit is saying, you've got really, it's right here in the cards. The Spirit is saying that you've got a beautiful new beginning, but there's going to be a need to let go of something that is in your past. Again, it could be a thought process, a certain way of being that you felt is what was ingrained in you. It needed to be this way, right? And needed to go into a pause and retreat and getting illuminated that, oh, there's a new way to do this thing, right? It could also be, it could be a relationship that you're dealing with. It could be a job, a career, a path that you felt like this is what you've always thought you needed to do, but now that has shifted, right? And so through reflection with Spirit, you've gotten the idea you need to do something and you need to let it go. And this is just confirmation for those of you who already know that there's something you really need to let go of, okay? Because what's amazing about this beautiful souls who chose pile number 2 or chose number 2 is that you've got the Magician card. And then the Magician card is followed by the Ten of Pentacles, which is one of the most abundant cards in the tarot deck. And it talks about community, love, family, abundance. The Ten of Pentacles is about, abundance. This is like a wish fulfilled. It's like when you think of like, what your ideal would look like. They used to say it's like, a 2-car garage and 2 whatever. That's not a lot of people's dream, right? But it could be, whatever it is that is your dream. That's what this card represents. Okay, having the people around you that you love, having the kind of family community that you love around you, embracing you, having more than enough so that you have enough to actually give to others and give to the community as well. That's what this is saying. And the Magician card is all about manifesting. It is saying that you have the power within your own hands to manifest whatever it is that your heart's desire from the universe. The universe is vast, abundant, and overflowing you all with blessings. All things are possible, truly. Okay, so you can manifest these things, but Spirit is saying that you're going to have to forgive yourself and forgive some others within your past. Allow yourself to open up to new ideas that is being downloaded to you from your higher power, your higher self, however it is that you envision that. And let go of what is no longer serving you so that you can open up, manifest into your life that which you most desire, okay? And that will come to pass with this Ten of Pentacles, okay? So overall, you all, I think this is a really great message. It's actually a very clear message. We started with protect your energy, hold your stars close, hold those things that are important close to you as you go through this process of transformation, letting go of something that is no longer serving you from your past, stepping into a journey of new beginnings, manifesting this beautifully abundant future and outcome, okay? Pay attention again to people who are maybe not showing up as they truly are, that are disguised in some way, and face your fear, step with courage. Look at that scarecrow right in the face, you all, and knock them over and go toward your dreams. I hope that this resonated with you. Please, if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Thank you for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot, and I will see you in your next reading. Have a joyfully abundant day. Bye-bye.
Hello, my pile number 3. This is going to be your pile picking if you chose the deck with the Citrine and the Star Tarot, okay? And this is the Fool card, which we were just bringing you into the reading. I'm going to put this into the deck, and then I'm going to shuffle the deck, and we're going to pull 5 tarot cards for this deck. This is a very large deck for my small hands. So I may have to shuffle the other way. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we are going to, Spirit, we are here looking at what does this beautiful pile number 3 need to know right now? What is any guidance, any observations, anything they need to be aware of, anything they can look forward to? What do they need to know right now? So we got 1. I'm going to pull 5 of these tarot cards. I feel like that's 2. And to help our beautiful souls that chose pile number 3 on their soul journey. Ooh. And that is actually 5. Okay, so that's going to be our tarot. We will keep this here in case we need to do any clarifying. We are going to pull 2 oracle cards from the Crow deck. And this is for pile number 3, Spirit. What guidance do they need to know right now? What do they need to know right now? What will help them to continue on their soul journey toward joy, love, and abundance? Okay. And then we're going to pull one oracle deck from the Woodland Wardens for pile number 3, Spirit. What do they need to know? It gave me 2, but I'm going to go ahead and go with it. And then finally from the Starlight deck, just one card here. What does pile number 3 need to know on their soul journey today, Spirit? What do they need to know? Okay. So those are going to be our cards. This was the pile picking for pile number 3. And this is for those who chose the citrine. And so we're going to go into the reading. Okay, see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is the Abundant Joy Tarot, and this is Ade. And if you have chosen the citrine crystal and the Star Tarot deck, this is your reading. So we already did the pile picking, and we're going to jump right into your reading. So let's see what you have. And again, we're asking the question, we're asking Spirit to give us the guidance that you need to know today. What is it that you need to know right now? And this is going to be a timeless reading. So it's whenever you find this reading that you needed to hear this message today. Okay. Remember, this is a general reading, so apply what resonates with you. But we're just going to talk about kind of what are the themes that you need to hear. And you've got limitless. Know your worth. I love that word, limitless. All things are possible for you, beautiful souls who chose pile number 3. But it's important, in order for you to achieve those things, you've got to know that it's possible. You've got to know, believe it, and move forward with it, okay? But all things are possible, limitless. Awesome. Great way to kick off the reading. Let's see here what we've got in your oracle cards. So we've got a couple of oracle cards. I never can get this to stay up. We've got a couple of oracle cards, and then we've got a couple of tarot. Limitless. I want to hold that one up there. So you've got, and oh yes, that's right. This is the deck that ended up getting 2 of these oracle cards. The other ones only had 1 of these. So you've got the Cayman and the Poppy, dreams. Okay. Yeah, okay, because that's because the poppy, this card, like, okay, this animal, the caiman, it's like a, I want to say it's like, I don't know if the word is breed, but it's a type, it's like within the gator category. So I don't want to call it wrong with the reptile of a gator category. But the thing is, they tend to be like in a state of almost like a trance-like state for most of the time. And then it's compared here with the poppy, and it talks about your dreams. But this is a really lovely card because it's also 20 in this deck here, which is like the 20, I believe, is also in alignment with the Judgment card. But it talks here about a new, like a wish coming true, like a new project coming forth, a dream of yours, right? A dream of yours is about to come true. Stay still yet alert, because just like the caiman energy of that animal, right? Stay still and alert, and at the right moment, seize your opportunity with relish. So it's saying that there's an opportunity that's coming your way that will help to fulfill a dream that you have, and that you want to be ready for that energy, for that opportunity, for that chance. You know, it's like, stay ready. What is that phrase? So you don't have to get ready. Like, stay ready, y'all. Get yourself ready, because the opportunity is coming in, and it is literally for a dream that you have. So it's a beautiful energy. And then you've got the skunk and the magnolia. I love that.
That's interesting. I'm not too fond of skunks, but they are able to use their ability for protection, right? And this card actually says protection. And then one of the things is, it's interesting that it's coming right here with this, a dream being fulfilled, because this is saying that you have everything that you need, that you're safe, your boundaries are protected, your home is intact. And so it feels like, as a result of this dream, there's like a new level of stability that's going to be coming into your life, pile 3. And this card is also saying for you to consider, like, how can you protect others in your world, like those that you love? How can you protect others in your worlds, and what or who makes you feel safe? Okay, because all of that is possible because of this new opportunity, this new level of abundance, dream fulfilled, that's going to be coming into your space as a result of this card here. Yeah, this is a beautiful energy and a combination of the two. So I see why they pulled out both of them, because every other pile only got one. So let's look at your crow deck. Influence. Interesting. Okay, this card. Okay, let me see what your other crow card is. Adventure. Okay, all right. So I feel like actually this is this first card here is guidance from spirit. This card is depicting like the crows here, that the crows, you see like there's like these cigarettes here. They're probably drinking some leftover, wine or something that spilled. It's talking about how these crows are being influenced by outside resources. This card really speaks to being mindful of people or groups or things that have caused you to do some things that you maybe would not have done because you have been influenced. It can talk about a little bit of a manipulating force within your world, but understand that that manipulating force can also be internal. So it can be internal and external, right? But whatever it is, it's allowing you to exhibit some behaviors that's outside of what you would want to choose to be at your best self, okay? Your highest self, all right? So really thinking about that. And I want you to consider pile 3, who is influencing you in your life, who or what is influencing in your life, and are you having influence in your life that's causing you to behave in ways or do things that you don't, it's not for your highest good. It's not moving you forward in the best way possible. The Spirit is asking you to look at those influences, to be mindful of them, and in some cases pull away from them. Okay, that's what I'm hearing with that card here. Now, the Adventure card is actually talking about, it's kind of, to me, harbinging back to this new beginning here, this new opportunity that's coming here. And there's this sense of like, what is on the other side of the mountains? You may not know, and Spirit is not fully revealing here, and we may be able to dig into that a little bit, but we'll see. Spirit is not fully revealing what is on the other side of the mountain, but there's really this sense of like stepping into the newness of your opportunity and your life with a sense of wonder and awe and joy, right? There's this sense of like, okay, maybe you don't really know everything that's going to be happening, but there's an opportunity for you to take a risk and to explore. Life is meant to be lived and loved. Lived and loved. Beautiful pile number 3. Okay, so step out into that adventure. Now let's see what the tarot is saying to see if we can get a fuller picture of what is going on for you right now. But again, we're kind of back to this limitless idea. I love this. This adventure reminds me of this limitless possibility that's available for you, pile 3. So you've got, look at that. You got the Fool card. And the Fool card, remember, was at the top of each of the decks. But when I shuffled, I slid it into the middle of the deck, and then I shuffled more, and it still popped out. It still popped out because it's about taking a risk. It's a newness, right? It's a newness. It's a new beginning. It's jumping into life with both feet, right? And that's echoing on back on this Cayman and Poppy, where a dream is manifesting for you, and this sense of adventure that we've got in the Crow card of like stepping out into knowing your work, that you are limitless. That's what this Fool card is really saying here. You all are definitely going to be embarking on some new area, some new project, some new aspect of your life. Okay, so you've got the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords, you can see here, like there's no other way to really talk about this card except that it is a heartbreak. But the thing about the Three of Swords is that, you can see, can you all see that clearly, that these angels are there. And when we're in our deepest sorrow, you need to know that you're never alone. But there are these tears here. And what these angels are whispering is grow. Because when we get hit by heartbreak, that is one of our biggest opportunities to grow, to expand, to heal, to nurture ourselves. There are multiple phases of grief, okay? And so you go through those various phases of grief to be able to get to the other side and heal that heartbreak. So my beautiful souls in pile number 3, yes, you may have been, or you may experience some heartbreak, some loss, some grief, okay? But the angels and your guides are saying that A, you're definitely not alone. You're never alone in that process, okay? And B, this is an opportunity for you to really dig into your healing, okay? Remember that there are stages of grieving. It's like denial, anger, guilt, vulnerability, loneliness, depression. You may find yourself going through some of these cycles. There's no other way to like sugarcoat this card. It is what it is. Unfortunately, it is there. But the good news is that it is a part of the natural cycle. And it is a reminder that there is a loss. There's something that we need to look at. It's the way that Spirit lets us know that we need to look full force at something, right? It's getting our attention so that we can move forward. And this may be connected to influences that you're having in your life right now. So beautiful souls, because I really felt that before. You really need to be thinking about who or what might be influencing in your life right now, and whether or not those are the influences that you actually look at that. Wow. Okay. That you actually want to have. So you've got the Devil card. Now, the Devil card talks about self-imposed restrictions. All right. That's the main message of this card. But the other thing is that, so part of that is that you can free yourself. Thou art loosed, as they say, right? But the thing about it, it does talk about sort of vices where you can get influenced again by things that are not best serving you. It can talk about addictions, but it can also talk about sort of anxieties and vices and anything that keeps us stuck or feeling like we're trapped or feeling like we're in bondage of some kind, okay? And I know that can feel like a heavy word because, you can be in bondage to your habits of some kind, right? So, or a vice that you have. You're bonded to it because you feel like you have to do it. Whenever you feel like you have to do something, you have a bit of a tie to it. It has a bit of control or influence over you in your life. And this card is asking you, Spirit is saying, we want you to look at those things, because once you look wholly at this shadow, which is what the Devil shows us, when you can look wholly at your shadow, embrace yourself, forgive yourself for what you need, it's going to allow you to forgive others as well. But then you're able to stand more fully in your power and in your light, okay? Sometimes we want to avoid this. We want to avoid it altogether as if the shadow doesn't exist. But life is about balances, right? Everybody has shadows. Everybody has, vices of some kind. And so Spirit is asking you to look at those things. You have an opportunity here with some of the challenges that you're going through to really dig deeper and emerge more whole, more fully healed. Okay, let's see I've gotten kind of carried away there, but let's look at, these are important messages. So let's look at what Wow. Okay. So you've got the Four of Pentacles. This is kind of harkening back to this sense of stability, this newness that's coming in. I'm really getting the sense that this heartbreak is something that you're moving from. It's passing through you right now. This look at your vices, you're passing through you. Wow. Look at that. Wow. And you're moving toward the Nine of Pentacles, which is one of the most abundant cards in the tarot. And it's also about self-abundant. Like the Nine of Pentacles really talks about having worked really hard on something, been diligent about something. And you beautiful souls who chose pile number 2, some of the work that you all have been doing. Now, this may also deal with the actual situation, an actual project or a person or a relationship that's in your life. But part of the work that I'm hearing very clearly is that this is also talking about the self-work that you're doing, the inner work that you're doing on healing, pulling yourself out of a place of loss or grief or sorrow, looking at your shadow side deeply and healing from that. Because the Nine of Pentacles is not only just like ultimate abundant success, a wish fulfilled, but it is also like a self-realization of success, a self motivated achievement, right? Like success that has come from your effort, your hard work, beautiful pile 3, excuse me. And so it's just really beautiful. And then you've got the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles, the dragonfly here really represents like the kind of being the guide between like the material and the spiritual, like sort of opening that realm. The Four of Pentacles is a card of foundation, security, stability, and abundance. It is reaching a level of success that provides you with the level of security. So the fact that your reading is kind of leading you here to stability and the ultimate wish coming through. You've started your reading off by Spirit saying you've got a new project, a new opportunity coming in. And then I feel like they're saying, beloveds, you're going to need to take a risk. There's some healing that you've got to do, but you need to remember, even as you're healing, that your angels, your guides, your higher power is right there with you through this. They're just wanting you to grow. They're just wanting you to expand. They're wanting you to look at your shadow and get to the other side. Understand that nothing that is in your world is too powerful for you to overcome. It would not be there. It wouldn't be on your soul journey if it was. You are capable. You are limitless. Know your worth. Know your possibility. And go out there and seek that adventure. Seek that success because it is right there for you. Oh, all you beautiful souls. This is just such a beautiful reading. I love this for you. I send you a great big hug in your process of dealing with loss and sorrow. If some of you are still in that space of deep sorrow, understand that this too shall pass and that you are going to come to an abundant new place as you're moving through this cycle here. This is a beautiful reading. Watch your influences, watch your vices, look at your shadow, and get ready for abundant new opportunities and adventure to come into your life. I hope that this reading resonates with you, and I hope that you have a beautifully abundant and joyful day. This is your reading, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye.